In the age of one-to-one, preparing the students is really to connect them, not just one-to-one device, but one to the world, to impress upon them that their voice, whatever they do online, has a worldwide footprint, something that cannot be taken back, something that doesn't disappear after you do it. When we give assignments, they should be things that our students can learn from and grow from that will engage them.
You're listening to the smartsocial.com podcast. I'm your host, Josh Oakes. This is our District Talk segment where we interview district leaders to learn how they're keeping students safe on social media so those students can someday shine online. Now, let's get back to the interview.
I'm Dr. Angela Grunewald. I'm Superintendent of Edmond Schools in Edmond, Oklahoma. We just crossed over the 26,000 students this year, and we have those with 30 school sites, and we are a growing district. We grew by 700 students last year, so continuing to get bigger every day.
Hello, I'm Charlotte McDavid. I'm the Executive Director of Academic Innovation and Technology for Greenville County Schools. We're located in Greenville, South Carolina. Our district has 77,000 students. We have 51 elementary schools, 20 middle schools, and 16 high schools, along with other programs, career technology centers, and early childhood centers, totaling approximately 101 sites.
Hello, my name is Jake Bacon, Assistant Superintendent for the Hermiston School District, located in Eastern Oregon. We have approximately 5,400 students, K-12 setting, across 9 buildings.
So the first question I have for you, how has the prevalence of technology in the classroom impacted student learning and engagement?
We have seen some really great things in our classroom with our Chromebooks. We are a one-to-one district. We have iPads in our smaller grades and then Chromebooks in our upper grades. And when I go in classrooms, it is just amazing to watch how our teachers are using them. Students are collaborating with their devices, they are researching with their devices, and just much more engaged in the learning. We have seen a big decrease in worksheets and non-thinking assignments. And so we have been very pleased with what our teachers are doing with the devices our students have.
Technology in the classroom has become a part of how we learn, as well as how we assess student learning and how we give feedback. With technology, if used properly and used in a way that engages students, we're able to tap into students' unique interests. We're able to reach them where they are and differentiate their learning and their instruction. And we're able to give them more immediate feedback on their answers or their responses so that they're learning during the period and not simply following the teacher. We're also able to have them create and innovate and collaborate in ways they were not able to do in the core classroom with the students in their classrooms, in schools across the district, across the state, and across the nation, which maximizes their learning power.
Technology in the classroom has really impacted students and teachers alike in 2 different ways. They either embrace it or they do not. And right now, the big challenge is how much do you bring technology into the classroom? And our teachers wrestle with that every day. We're about 50-50 in our district right now on bringing that into the classroom. We've put policies in place where cell phone access is limited, which has been an interesting process because we've really used it a lot. Now we're wrestling with the creation of essays and how authentic they truly are.
How can school districts deal with social media issues that may originate on social media, perhaps in an app, but then will create a problem for the school or district the next morning or Monday morning after the weekend or even on campus?
One thing is that usually weekends are the best when they pop up the most, or late at night. And so our principals have spent a lot of time investigating those things and calling parents. We also work very closely with our police department. And if it's a school threat or anything like that, we don't wait till Monday morning. They get on it right away. They'll go do a house visit. They have been a very good partner in helping us monitor social media and what's going on with social media over the weekends.
Social media at home carries over similar to the way back in the day the students would have a sleepover. Something happens at home and it spills over into the school environment. We must encourage our students to be advocates for themselves and to communicate about the things that make them feel uncomfortable, about issues that may arise. In Greenville schools, we have See Something, Say Something. If you visit our website, it is a link that allows students to anonymously post information about bullying. That's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And we have been able to actually capture potential threats, imminent suicide. We've been able to support students in ways that we were not able to because other students feel free to make us aware. See Something, Say Something is an anonymous response, as I mentioned, but we encourage students to use that because who are you going to tell? If you tell your parents, that takes time to come back to the schools. See Something, Say Something is monitored, and our school administrators, our teachers have the information right away with details that we can follow up on.
Social media has really impacted our day-to-day operations, originating outside of the school day. We have hired 4 social workers in our district to help with situations like this. So as those challenges come in, our social workers and our counselors, we have a counselor in every building, and we have 5 at the high school where they work with families on how to navigate those challenges as they come through. And we have a great relationship with our police department. And so we have we have 3 school resource officers on site who work with families. So you think school resource officer, we're like, oh my gosh, the police are coming in, but they do an amazing job of being proactive and coaching families and students through those situations of how to interact when situations move from home, social media into school.
Can you provide some examples of how your students have used their social media in a positive or maybe productive way that have benefited either themselves, their community, or even better, ways that what they've done with social media is launching them into their future, whether it's college or career?
One of the exciting things that happened just this last year, matter of fact, it just wrapped up, was one of our leadership groups decided to work with our school foundation to endow it's our celebration of excellence. It's where we honor all of our teachers of the year and everything. And so they used a social media platform, went around and got all these donations and did an online auction. And they, through social media, through the auction, were able to raise enough money to endow through our foundation, our celebration of excellence. We were just so proud of the students and what they did, and they were too.
Greenville County Schools has as a major initiative something called Graduation Plus or G Plus. And we're encouraging our students to build their post-secondary platform, their post-secondary voice, to teach them what potential employers and college educators will look for when they are applying. They are encouraged to build a portfolio complete with things that they have created during the K-12 environment. They're encouraged to post projects, videos, when they produce in a project-based learning setting. They are encouraged to put that out to an authentic audience, but also capture that as part of their personal portfolio.
Josh, a wonderful question about how kids are using the social media and then promoting themselves or moving into the future. Right now, our FFA program is doing a great job with their social media on a fundraiser. That is, they're putting a toilet out in people's yards. You have to pay to get it removed. Well, they're doing a social media blast with it. So it's been great to involve the community, families, and the schools all in this process. And so they pay to get passed around. So that's been a fun one that just recently they've been doing. But our student body has been amazing at creating videos and putting them out to help promote events at the high school, whether they're activities or athletics. We also have some kids that are working on scholarship and athletic scholarship promotion through some social media video production.
The toilet thing is interesting. So the students are coming up with a creative way to say, we have an old toilet, let's put it on a parent's lawn and say, do you want to chip in $20-$50 to contribute to the school's foundation or fundraising efforts? And then we'll pass this toilet on to another parent. And is that how that kind of works?
The best part of it, they came up with a scheme on their payment process. So you can either have, like, they have a $30 to have it removed, right? And then you can also pay $40 to have it removed and not come back to your place. Or you can pay $50 and you can have it, take it away, never come back, and then you can pick who it goes to next. So they have a different level of how you can pay for it. So it's been pretty fun, and people are posting pictures of like, well, I'm sending it back to you, and here it comes. So kids in the community has had a pretty good time with it so far.
In the age of one-to-one, how are you and your district preparing students for positive technology use in the classroom and also at home?
I would say that more goes towards how we're preparing teachers. We want to make sure, every student walks in the door with a device every day. Are you using them in a positive way? They're not babysitters. They're not just a way to take a worksheet and push it out to students on a device. So we've worked harder with training our teachers on how to use them in a positive way than we really have focused on our students. And I think, though, as teachers model that, it's a role model and that trickles down to our students.
In the age of one-to-one, preparing the students is really to connect them, not just one-to-one device, but one to the world, to impress upon them that their voice, whatever they do online, has a worldwide footprint, something that cannot be taken back, something that doesn't disappear after you do it. When we give assignments, they should be things that our students can learn from and grow from that will engage them. We are seeing our students more and more use YouTube to learn how to do things, to build things, to innovate. We want to promote entrepreneurship through these venues. Well, if the students have the devices, but they don't have assignments that engage them, they may find other things. One-to-one also looks at the potential for students being able to launch the career that they may lead into. The one-to-one, we now have the esports. And my very own son is at Fisher Middle School here in Greenville County Schools, where the esports is something that they do. Some of the competitions are at home, but our students are competing. Our students are winning and competing nationally on these because it's tapping into something they're uniquely gifted in and something that they can practice at home, and they can continue to spread their gifts across the world.
Our counselors work with our teachers to provide an online curriculum to work through on how to manage that piece of it. Before COVID, we actually had moved to where we were purchasing enough to go one-to-one with our family. So we've been accessing that for quite a while now. But really, at our elementary levels, the elementary teachers do it out of their classrooms, and at the middle level and high school, our counselors are working with teachers. They do have information out of family nights. So if families have questions on how to navigate the use of it, we also provided for a while during COVID, everybody had hotspots, so they were out to the families so that way they could have access. Because one of the challenges is access. We don't have it across the board for our families, so we do nights and host events out of our district office where families can come in and access it.
Thanks for listening to our smartsocial.com podcast. I'm your host, Josh Oakes. This was our District Talk segment where we interview school district leaders to learn how they're keeping students safe on social media so those students can someday launch into their future by shining online. This episode was brought to you by our smartsocial.com VIP program. It's called the Very Informed Parent Program, which helps you engage your students with teen-led video lessons. Stay one step ahead with our premium parent newsletter and discover hidden features on trending apps on teens' phones and our 54 plus live parent and student-friendly events every single year. You can click on the link below to chat with one of our team members if you want a free pass to our VIP program to support your community with our smartsocial.com resources. And if you're a district leader who has a success story, we would love to feature you on a future episode. You can click the links below to reach out. Thanks so much for listening, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Have a great day.